Grace and peace to you. Welcome to Morning Watch. I'm Rob, one of the pastors here at White Plains. Glad to have you with us today. On a Wednesday, happy Wednesday. This is where we gather for a song and a thought for the day. So glad you are with us with your cup of coffee or whatever beverage you're drinking, whenever you're watching. Thanks for being here and sharing. It's funny, I talk to people all the time who say, "Oh yeah, I'm watching," but don't comment, which is fine. I'm just glad that folks are seeing and enjoying. So thanks for being here. Hey Faye, good morning. Well, good morning, Shayna. Let's begin our time together by going to God in prayer. Meet me, O Christ, in this stillness of morning. Move me, O Spirit, to quiet my heart. Mend me, O Father, from yesterday's harms. From the discords of yesterday, resurrect my peace. From the discouragement of yesterday, resurrect my hope. From the weariness of yesterday, resurrect my strength. From the doubts of yesterday, resurrect my faith. From the wounds of yesterday, resurrect my love. And let me enter this new day, aware of my need and awake to your grace, O Lord. Amen and amen. Well, morning, Steve. Morning, Shayna. And good morning to you whenever you're watching. Thanks for being here. All right, here is a song I've never done on Morning Watch before. It's not out of the Lost Drive that I've been playing songs out of. Good morning, Lee. Thanks, buddy. Thanks. So, sorry, this is the danger of people commenting as they lead me down rabbit holes. This mug came from Comic-Con a few years ago. It's actually done by a local Apex pottery studio. So it's local guys. Cool stuff. All right. Here's a song we actually did in worship this past Sunday. And I just thought it really fit well for this writer, Thomas Kelly, that we're studying. We read a little bit of him yesterday, and we'll read the rest today. And this song was going in my head. It's been going in my head a lot, to be honest. But when you're speaking about inner transformation and letting God act, that this seems to work well. I could just sit and wait for all your goodness, hope to feel your presence. I could just stay right where I am and hope to feel you, hope to feel something again. I could hold on to who I am and never let you change me from the inside. I could be safe, I could be safe here in your arms and never leave home, never let these walls down. But you have called me higher, you have called me deeper, and I'll go where you will lead me, Lord. You have called me higher, you have called could hold on. I could hold on and never let you change me from the inside. And I could be safe. I could be safe here in your arms and never leave home. Never let these walls down, but you have called me higher. You have called me deeper. Now go where you will lead me, Lord. You have called me higher. You have called me deeper. Now go where you will lead me, Lord. Where you lead me. You lead me, Lord. You lead me, Lord. I will be yours, oh, I will be yours for all my life. I will be yours, oh, I will be yours for all my life. I will be yours, oh, I will be yours for all my life. Let your mercy. I will be yours, Lord. I'll be yours for all my life. Let your mercy light the path before me, 'cause you have called me higher. You have called me deeper. And I'll go where you will lead me, Lord. You have called me higher. You have called me deeper. And I'll go where you will lead me, Lord. Where you lead me. You lead me, Lord. You lead me. Where you lead me, Lord. Yeah, isn't that great? I was trying to see if I could see who wrote that. That's Leslie Jordan. That's the author of that. Beautiful, right? And really pretty when you've got some harmony and stuff going with it, like we did on Sunday. All right, so we're picking up again with Thomas Kelly. Just a quick refresher, if you weren't, and we'll, yeah, isn't that pretty, Faye? It will do, Steve. I'll get that. I'll get that to you. All right, so just a refresher, if you were not here yesterday, Thomas Kelly grew up in the Quaker tradition. He studied under Rufus Jones, who you may remember as a spiritual mentor to Howard Thurman, and he spent most of his life in search of this mystic understanding of God, and did not experience it until late in life, but then wrote this sort of masterwork called A Testament of Devotion, speaking of the total surrender of self, which surrender is the spiritual discipline that we're focusing on right now. And yesterday we read the first part of an excerpt from that, where he talked with vivid, beautiful language of what an inner encounter with God feels like, and what surrendering, drawing comparisons from the Psalms, all your waves have broken over me, from Psalm 42. Today we'll pick up, and he goes through some steps on how this works, as much as it can be described, understanding it's different for everyone. Kelly writes, "Do not mistake me. And as I switch to my readers, he talks about the shepherd. The experience being that he's examining is the shepherd capturing the lost sheep, seeking the lost sheep, finding them, carrying them in the shepherd's arms. That's the image that he's focused on here. Do not mistake me. Our interest just now is in the life of complete obedience to God, not in the amazing revelations of his glory graciously granted only to some. Yet the amazing experiences of the mystic leave a permanent residue, a God-subdued, God-possessed will. States of consciousness are fluctuating. The vision fades. But holy and listening and alert obedience remains as the core and kernel of a God-intoxicated life, as the abiding pattern of a sober workaday living. And some are led into the state of complete obedience by this well-nigh passive route, wherein God alone seems to be the actor, and we seem to be wholly acted upon, and our wills are melted and dissolved and made pliant, being firmly fixed in God, and God's will in us. But in contrast to this passive route to complete obedience, most people must follow what Jean-Nicolas Gros calls the active way, wherein we must struggle, and like Jacob of old, wrestle with the angel until the morning dawn. The active way wherein the will must be subjugated bit by bit, piecemeal and progressively, to God's divine will. The first step to obedience is the flaming vision of the wonder of such a life. A vision which comes occasionally to us all through biographies of the saints, through the journals of Fox and early friends from his Quaker roots here, through a life lived before our eyes, or through a haunting verse in the Psalms. Whom have I in heaven but thee? There is none on earth that I desire besides thee. Psalm 73:25. Through meditation upon the amazing life and death of Jesus, through a flash of illumination, or in George Fox's language, a great opening. Remember, we read Fox just a couple weeks ago. There is an infinite fountain of lifting power pressing within us, luring us by dazzling visions, and we can only say, the creative God comes into our souls. An increment of infinity is about us. An increment of infinity is about us. Holy is imagination, the gateway of reality into our hearts. The hound of heaven is on our track. The God of love is wooing us to God's holy life. So, just like in anything, to accomplish anything starts with a burning desire. All right, begin where you are. Once having the vision, the second step to holy obedience is this. Begin where you are. Obey now. Use what little obedience you are capable of. I feel like he's writing to me sometimes. Use what little obedience you are capable of, even if it be like a grain of mustard seed. Begin where you are. Live this present moment, this present hour, as you sit in your seats in utter submission and openness towards God. Listen outwardly to these words, but within, behind the scenes, in the deeper levels of your lives, where you are all alone with God, the loving, eternal one, keep up a silent prayer. Open thou my life. Guide my thoughts, where I dare not let them go. But thou darest. Thy will be done. Walk on the streets and chat with your friends, offering yourselves in continuous obedience. I find this internal, continuous prayer life absolutely essential. Such prayer of submission, absolutely essential. It can be carried on day and night, in the thick of business, in home and in school. Such prayer of submission can be so simple. It is well to use a single sentence, repeated over and over and over again, such as this: Be thou my will, be thou my will. Or I open all before thee, I open all before thee. Or see earth through heaven. See earth through heaven. This hidden prayer can pass in time beyond words and phrases into mere ejaculations, my God, my God, my Holy One, my love, or into the adoration of the Upanishad. Oh, wonderful, oh, wonderful, oh, wonderful. Words may cease, and one stands and walks and sits and lies in wordless attitudes of adoration and submission, and rejoicing and exultation and glory. And the third step in holy obedience or counsel is this. If you slip and stumble and forget God for an hour and assert your old proud self and rely upon your own clever wisdom, don't spend too much time in anguished regrets and self-accusations, but begin again just where you are. And yet a fourth consideration in holy obedience is this. Don't grit your teeth and clench your fists and say, I will, I will. Relax. Take hands off. Submit yourself to God. Learn to live in the passive voice. A hard saying for Americans. And let life be willed through you. For I will spells not obedience. All right. One of the... Remember, this is someone writing in the before World War II, right? He died in 1941. And I know this was written late in his life, but still. Don't grit your teeth, clench your fists, and say, I will, I will. Learn to live in the passive voice. A hard saying for Americans. And let life be willed through you. For I will spells not obedience. I mean, I could just meditate on that for a while. Learn to live in the passive voice. Okay. You know, I was always taught not to use the passive voice when writing. But to allow ourselves to be acted upon rather than relying on our own strength is the essence of Christian submission. Richard Foster writes that virtually all of Kelly's published writings came from the last 3 years of his life. And Foster says he's read a good number of his unpublished sermons and lectures from before that period. And while they are above average in insight and scholarship, they simply do not rise to the same level of breathtaking radiance as those last 3 years. Why is this? What happened in 1937 to 38 to cause the speeches and essays of his final years to erupt with such fire and heart-searing passion? What made him so utterly blinded by the splendor of God? What would cause him to write the fires of the love of God, of our love towards God, and God's love toward us are very hot? Did God visit him in some special epiphany of glory? Quite the contrary. The abrupt change in Kelly rose out of two powerful experiences. One was a crushing personal defeat, and the other a fiery baptism into the suffering of humanity. The defeat we read a little bit about yesterday was his failure to achieve the recognition of a PhD from Harvard. He completed all of those doctoral requirements except for the final oral exams. And he had a woozy spell in that oral exam. His mind went completely blank, and he failed his oral exam miserably and was rejected from the PhD with no opportunity for reconsideration. And that rejection was catastrophic. Kelly sank into a deep depression, and yet out of the ashes of that dashed dream of academic acclaim arose the phoenix of a new, captivating vision of the God-intoxicated life. In April 1938, he wrote to his mentor Rufus Jones, "The reality of the presence has been very great at times recently. One knows at first hand what the old inquiry meant, has truth been advancing among you?" And the second experience came in the summer of 1938 when Kelly went to Hitler's Germany, an experience in which his soul was immeasurably deepened by seeing and sharing in the suffering of the German people. "I have never had such a soul-overturning period as this," he wrote. "It is not merely heroism, it is the depth of consecration, simplicity of faith, beauty in the midst of poverty and suffering that shames us. I have met giant souls. One cannot be the same again." You think about people whose faith is formed in the crucible of oppression, such as that, like Bonhoeffer and many others. Later, he told several close students of a particular experience in the great cathedral at Cologne, where on his knees he seemed to feel God laying upon his heart the whole congealed suffering of humanity, a burden too terrible to be borne, and yet somehow bearable with God's help. Those two experiences help us understand the enormous power that flowed from Kelly's writing and speaking in the 3 remaining years of his earthly pilgrimage. All right. Good stuff. Tomorrow we continue again, and I've already mentioned that I won't be here on Friday, going out of town, but I will be here tomorrow. So see you then. Thanks for being here today. May you find peace and purpose in this day. May you come to know that closeness of the awesome presence of God that Kelly and so many others have written about. May we live it and not just read it. All right. Thanks for being here. Thanks, Hamma. Y'all take care, and I will see you again tomorrow.